about now? Did that fix it? Yes. Freaking rookie. Did that work now? Okay. Let's start that whole thing over. Welcome back, Friday Night Live. I decided to start this late, so it's 6:30 here on this side. And yeah, there we go. Whoops. It's fine. Sometimes I forget to turn. I plugged it in, turned it on. I forgot to hit connect. Act like you've been here before, right? Anyway, I'm working on buggy stuff a little bit. Now, I discussed a little bit in the video on this on Thursday that I was going to be doing a jeans theme, some YMH, for those that aren't aware. So I did some changing already. I've set myself off on that path, and we're going for it. So first of all, you'll see the new Riots we just released. So these, I got a bit. That's right. How do I do this so you can see it? Anyway, there we go. KMC Riots. I did the blue with a bronze Skarn beadlock ring because I feel like the bronze is the closest thing to like the zipper and button look of the of jeans. So I went with that. Then I already had jeans blue carbon fiber PLA from Bamboo. So I printed the dash out of that. And in person, it's a little bit light in video, but in person, it's got like even a bit of the right texture of jeans and everything. I'm super stoked on how that came out. So fantastic there. We're going to do a denim fiber hood and maybe the panels. Like maybe we just go all out. Yeah, that's the hope or the thought, at least at this point. Now, I do have the Bamboo printing. Sorry about that. But we're starting on the next portion of the print of the engine. This was my first round print, very rough. And I needed to make some clearance adjustments to actually clear the motor, the electric motor that was in there. So I'm printing the block section now. I've made great progress on it. And I'll probably pull that up during the stream because I'll have to get the next part ready. I just exported the block portion already. It's just going to be a temporary because it doesn't have all the facets and details that are needed yet, but it's fine. Do the panels in denim with red. That is my plan. Well, that's my plan for the hood at the very least. The sides and everything, I was kind of thinking like, yeah, I'll just do it the same. I'm thinking denim outer layer, and then I'll skin it on the backside with carbon fiber matte and do a full just regular infusion like I would with forged carbon. So why not? Full-blown Canadian tuxedo? Exactly. And then thinking of doing the Wrangler logo, but just say Harley. I think that will do. Phoenix, clearance the engine to clear the motor. Exactly. Like it does make it. Oh, you know what I'm realizing right this second is that it's going to be very difficult to get the block over the motor. We can modify that 3D print, or I can unbolt some stuff and make it happen. I'm just remembering that because of how it's captured, because it has to be fully covered. So see, you think of these things. I literally export it and started printing 5 minutes before. And I made the mounts to actually be able to use it 8 minutes before the show because I was like, ooh, I want to have that. I want to look at it during the stream, but I don't have the mounts made yet. So I had to design those quick and then just hit export. um, did you get the drive shafts figured out? Drive shafts are in. That hasn't been an issue for me. Was there maybe something different you meant? But yeah, drive shafts are in and done and clearing everything well. Look good, looking good, feeling good. Yeah, those things are set and ready to go. What printer? Can't hear it on my TV. Hey, that is excellent. I'm glad to hear it because it's loud in this room. Could use a change pocket so you could get the gold stitching in it. Yeah, like if you could get it the right size so you could actually. Now, my in-laws will be here for the better part of a month, starting next week. So like I could be like, hey, could you just stitch me that panel with it? And then I'll just lay that in the mold and resin it so that it has the proper stitching and everything. She could do it. She could do it for sure. It has to have gold rivets in the corners. See, there's so many good details about something as simple as jeans. So like, yeah, I feel like you're exactly right. So, we're getting there. What color of denim? Light blue, dark blue, black, acid wash? That's a great point. I'm guessing you know what I'm guessing? I'm guessing it's going to be whatever I have for jeans that I've already destroyed, which is likely not going to be too hard because I don't see myself buying denim fabric for this, although I guess I could. It might match the wheels better if I buy new denim fabric. I should probably do that, shouldn't I? Huh. Make the skid just like the interior, blue. I think my plan for the skid is to get Brett the file, and Brazen Scale will make the machine skids, and then anyone who wants one for this project can just buy a nice one. So that's my plan there. The in-laws come visit and you put them to work. Rocked up Ricky. Yes, Ricky, you have that's all they want to do while they're here. So can anyone print the cage you can theoretically build along? Will Matt's be flannel thing? So no, not anybody can. You had to buy into the build along, and I only distributed the files to those people because since it's a build along, like not everything's done. Yeah, we can build the cage, but that's like a small portion, or not small, like half the build is the cage. All of the files for the rest of it, like the skid plate, the dash, the rest of it, the interior, servo mounts, the rear engine, cage templates, all of that stuff, link dimensions and link sets, all of that stuff is the rest of it. And until it's all done, it's not really there to. So once it's all done, that's when people will have the chance to actually pick it up. And even though they're not like the build along process isn't going anymore. It's almost summer. Make some jorts. I was so mad when jean shorts went out of style. It's okay. But yeah, it's we'll get so I think I have a lot that I can do with the theme. There's lots and lots of options. I think I'll have the blue parts pretty limited to the wheels as far as like anodized, because you also just have so many like there's so much opportunity for all of the things to like not exactly match or clash. So if I can make all the panels match, make the interior stuff all the same there, wheels, like I'll try and keep it so that I'm not having a billion different clashing shades and colors and textures of blue. Yeah, that's they were never in style. Shut it, Phoenix. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. You're a mod. I can't even make you take that back. So wait, jean shorts are out of style even here in the Midwest. They went out of style when I lived in the Midwest, Adam. So yeah, that's exactly it. But the motor is what I've been working on most intensely for the last, I don't know, almost not quite a week, but way closer to a week than I would probably like to admit, with as far as how much CAD time is in it. Where'd my keyboard go? There it is. So the engine itself, take that up there, hide that. So I'll show you what we've got. Window. So here's the buggy model, and oil pan is currently off. And oil pan. So this is the current status of the actual engine model. I've got the turbo on there from the Porsche build. Exhaust kind of tucks back and it'll sit right back there in the corner like that. I'm worried about my intake air temps with how close my charge pipe is to the header, but you know, it'll probably be okay. So we got that. This is an Ecotech based model, you know, loosely. Everything else I've just kind of winged. You know, I just made up some sort of weird intake manifold shape. It came up with a random like throttle body style. It doesn't, none of it's really, rear upper link's going to clear that bad boy. Yes. So rear upper links go from here. It's super close. Oh, so wait, where do they say? Inside, outside, inside. This side, no problem. On the passenger side, no problem whatsoever. The driver's side, we may have to make a little bit of clearance. We'll see. That's it's gonna be real close, but that's why we're doing some printing at this point. I didn't bring in all of my models to this. Like this is even going to be very close with the actual servo mount, but I'd rather maximize the amount of real estate I'm taking up and then self-clearancing. I always like to call it performance machining. So, you know, intercooler in the back window. I'm going to actually do, I don't know if I'm going to do an intercooler. I'm going to do a radiator and stuff right back here, this back area. So you're not looking down on top of the servo so much. Yeah, I think that is going to be, I'll fill that area up. And this side, I don't know what I'll add or if I'll add anything. I need to add like a super tiny fuel cell. Like these guys run like a 2-gallon fuel cell in these things. And I was thinking about kind of incorporating it over here to help hide the bulge that I've got on the side of the block. That's why I put these two random, these two random bosses down here on the, so I could like attach up into them. Although they're going to be pretty close to, but I was just going to like make it look like it was where that bulge is. Scale battery and fuel. Yeah, scale battery. I could definitely put on the other side. There's some room down in that corner for it. And can we, what's it say? Can we route the rear servo through that motor somewhere? We could definitely poke a hole in this thing. I could make a fancy channel to get it through there. I think that all sounds possible. But I had the exhaust coming out of the side and like trying to tuck it right under here, but that was like, it was gonna probably look more like it was just blowing right on the shock, and I was like, that's probably a poor design execution. So I'm pretty happy with how the intake manifold came out though. It's kind of a different style and look. The charge pipe, we'll see. Not my favorite. Maybe I'll change it later. Maybe not. It's right over top of the oil cap, but you know, it's a custom buggy. You had to cut some corners. So yes, Reese checking in. As soon as I tune in, I hear the word servo. You're welcome. This is not a model of a Reef servo. That is a model of like an old Tower Pro. But, oh, they're not up here. As I say, I've got the servos. They're in the other model, which is this one. And wait for it. Taking forever. Oh, no, that'll be all right. We'll figure it out. Let's yeah, we'll see when that opens, because that's obviously taking too long. But and there we go. Once that comes back, we can take, well, it came back right away, but we'll go back to that in a minute. What's going on, Jeremiah? Thanks, sir. How do you store your filament when you're not using it? I use small airtight totes. Mine are in totes as well, but most of mine that are not used are not open. I usually, for the most part, I just try and use it up. I don't like go through. I don't do a lot of color changes or things like that. I've got filaments that I like that are in there. I don't do a ton of like cosmetic stuff where I'm changing colors all the time. This motor will be an exception. So, but at the same time, I'll probably just print the valve cover out of the denim blue so that it matches, and then I'll print the block and the heads out of the black carbon fiber. And yeah, I'll probably keep it fairly simple. I'll probably try and grab some sort of silver unless I have one already. But yeah, I don't do a lot of like setting aside and things like that. I've got a little bit of a spool of that left. When it gets that close to the end, if I'm starting something pretty decent size, I usually just take it off and pitch it. I don't keep same. I had a little bit of that stone white PLA left. I've got a new spool in there. I know I could set up like the sister tooling so that AMS would run it till it runs out and then go to the next, but you know. Motor needs to be an SR20DT, God's JDM engine. Now, someone had asked me, like, fam actually, while we were at work day, he goes, why doesn't anybody run like a K series or something like that in these buggies? Why would someone run a shitty old Chevy engine? And I think that partially why it's super common is because the rotation the engine spins and how that works with the common transmissions that are used in these things. I don't know if that's the case for all of them, but it was definitely the case at one time. So whether or not that is still the case or always the case, from what I remember, that is why people aren't using the JDM engines. But yeah. There's a drive shaft. Wait, go through that. I have to look at that. I don't know what that means. Oh, we forgot you like throwing money on. It's time. It would be time wasted. Is that? But and like there's barely enough there to print almost anything. So like it's just, I don't know. It's a pain in the butt. GC Coop, thank you very much. Happy Friday. What grit sandpaper do you use for forged carbon fiber out of the mold? Will Reefs be offering a build along discount code? I need to order some mini servos. That's a good question. So for the forged carbon fiber, the real rough, like that absolute crazy rough stuff on the outside, I'll hit with like a 400. And then I'll go to like 800, 1000, 2000 grit wet sanding just to get it to like as smooth as I can until it's just a nice, even, smooth finish everywhere. And from there, I believe you can polish it, but I've clear coated before. Watch your clear coat though, because clear coat can absolutely like react and fisheye on that stuff. So if you have a piece that you can test some on, that's great. But you know, I've had significant issues in the past with clear coating. I don't necessarily have the best recommendations. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm absolutely not reading your goddamn comments. I don't care if you did that super chat or not. I can do that. I did it for the last build along. Josh needs to remind me for the code. I can do that for him.
Sharif is watching. Ask him if he's going to Denver.
Nicole would like to know if you're coming to Denver.
And tell him he has to bring his girlfriend. My favorite.
So, release agent you use on the mold is what's costing the fish eyes. Okay, I could see. I mean, you're probably right. I feel like I've really wiped down before, but I'll make sure that I use. I think I was using mineral spirits before to wipe it down. Maybe that's not the right. Maybe that's not the right thing to do. Maybe it's not. Of course, Josh has to run the new release next year. I mean, well, of course I do, but also, it's like these wheels have been in production for like 4 months, maybe. So it's like I've seen them around. Like we've had them around so it's like finally once they're there, you're like, now I can use these. Wow. Isn't that nice? It gets impregnated into the material. Oh, okay. A good wax and grease remover is needed. Okay. Well, that I'll absolutely do that. I'll get something on order. Interesting. It's absolutely I mean, I know Rourke works at a body shop, so he should be the one I should ask that. The building my Riots now. They're such a good wheel too. Just a nice looking, classy style. It does use a center cap, which if you don't use the center cap, but it doesn't have the same look, so it's obviously you should. I used to. I'm in IT now. Oh, okay. See, listen, I remember one thing one time, and then that's it forever. It can't be changed in my head. So yeah, but obviously we'll get the. I'm wondering how that. Hopefully that a more harsh cleaner doesn't have an effect on the denim that I plan to use on my next one. Gosh, you should use Goo Gone. I think that would probably work just fine. Goo Gone, Goof Off, it's all the same. All black with black hardware. See, when I was trying to decide on this as far as how to make the jeans theme, I was like, do I use gold? It's like no, bronze is the better choice. Like, yeah, that's right. And then I had to try and decide what color hardware to use, whether stainless or black or the GR8, the goldish color. And I was just like, I love the GR8 look, but I think that color, which I had on the hubs of the original one, I don't think that color would have looked very good with this combo. So I was like, went with the black to just be kind of there, match the center caps, but blend away. I think it was the right choice because that looks really good. Really, really good. Zinc the chassis to match the ring. Zinc it? Wouldn't that be more gold? Doesn't zinc have more of a gold? I have a coating that I could use on the chassis that is pretty similar to the color of those rings. And I used it on my Carnivore before, which let me see if I go to, nope, not that website. Let's see if I can find a photo of it real quick. Did I take that off the site? I feel like I did. This stuff is all very out of date. I need to take that off. So yeah, I'm gonna do present, share screen, window, and no, cancel. Drag that up here. So you guys will have to decide. See if this. So you can see the color that I used on this. This was like an actual copper coating on that chassis. Do I have any other photos of it? No. You can kind of see though, it's got that like bronzish look to it a little bit. I think it might be decent. My other option would be to do my first thought anyway, is since that I am using some black in areas, like the center caps, the hardware. It's gonna be another other things that are black. I was thinking like doing just a metallic black on the chassis itself, just to make it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to stand out as much. We're gonna have freaking denim panels, so maybe the chassis doesn't have to be exactly right. But I don't know. Maybe that's a cop out. Maybe I need to find a color that's a little more. Ooh, pretty sure that Duplicolor has a nice bronze caliper paint. That seems like a good choice. Black oxide? No, it rusts so fast. Black oxide is Black oxide is such a weird coating. Like it's not a corrosion resistance thing. Like it's just so weird. But yeah, I think that caliper paint may do it. The cage is. I just hope it doesn't clash with the ring color or anything like that. But that could be the move, as the youths say. Steel it gray or black. It's what we coat our race chassis. I do have steel it, but I only have it in gray, and I think that would just be. It wouldn't go with anything well enough. So I normally go with a wheel paint. I like wheel paint. It's durable. It doesn't go on too heavy. You can get some metallics in it. So yeah, rust is why I did my cage in stainless. Gonna polish it decently, let it rot. Yeah, I mean stainless is. I have only welded stainless a little bit. Just don't know that I'm ready to go that route again. So yeah, we'll see. Cold blue, yeah, bluing is good. I do like bluing, and that could be kind of in that realm. I feel like I have to sneeze so badly right now. I got bright lights in front of me, and it's not working to stare at them. So there. If the bronze paint clashes with the beadlock rims, just get and paint them to match. I hate painting beadlock rings. I hate it so much. I feel like they never look quite right. They look kind of, I don't know. I just have such a problem with painted beadlock rings. Like if I had more time, I could maybe send some rings and the chassis off to be Cerakoted. But I know me, and I know that I will not give myself that amount of time, because I'm not sending it off till I have everything done. So then I need to tear the car completely down, paint it or coat it or whatever, then get it back together. And if I'm not doing that a week before the event, I'll be shocked. So, just say it. I still vote chrome plate. Kind of would be cool, but no. I'm gonna Cerakote mine myself. Yeah, Cerakoting is feasible. Like, you don't need crazy equipment, right? So I don't know that I need more equipment in general, but isn't bronze part of the chrome plating process? Right. Yeah, don't they like bronze, then nickel, then chrome, something like that? Get everything to split. Bright orange cage. So it's always been one of those things for me. Like, I never like color cages like that have always been something I've been against. I like cages that are more like much more like black, gray, silver, even white at times is like kind of okay, but still not my favorite. But doing like a bright color cage is never something, like blues or oranges, yellows, things like that. Not something I like. To me, it looks very like early 2000s rock crawler. Copper is the base of chrome. Yeah. Bright red cage is sick. No. Pretend it's a Capra. Now, for some reason, I did like the red Capra cage, but I mean, not that Capra cages look that good. It was the one I liked out of the Capras. They have dry Cerakote also now. What does that mean? I don't even know. By the time it's done, the early 2000s will be back in style. Well played. I have a deadline. That means deadlines, they get done. I get it done for deadlines. It's all about. So no Kentucky Sky Blue. You are so correct. So correct. Now, the next thing I have to figure out is that I've got the driver, right? Now, I don't feel like I can print the whole driver in the jeans blue, but at the same time, like, I kind of could. It's like everything but the head, right? So I don't know. I'm torn on that one because you can't multi-material a carbon fiber filament and a non-carbon fiber filament. So, and I don't have a white carbon fiber, so it's like I have to separate it and reattach the head. I don't know. I'm torn with that. What I'm more torn about is the fact that I've got multiple driver bodies and loose heads sitting around my workshop now. Don't like it. Yeah. Did you find a brain for the print? I did, and it did not like it. It did not like the print whatsoever. Let me see if I can. It's. I'm gonna go to it real quick, and I'll show you this thing. And where is the giant file of my head? All right, here we go. Get that open up. Order some white carbon fiber. Problem solved. That would be the solution. Just like, do I need it? Do I need to do that? It's on the table. I agree. It's not a bad choice. Okay, we'll go back to share screen. So I put the brain in there. It's very. She's yelling right there. It's very weird. It's very creepy. I didn't like it either. So she's literally yelling out there. But yeah, so we didn't end up using that. There's the little brain. It gives a new meaning to brain bucket. But
oh my God, use Emmett. No. That looks so dumb. Josh, you look like you're a Three Stooge.
That's how that goes.
No, that looks so stupid. I hate it so hard. Use Emmett. Can you please use Emmett?
Oh, I'm not redoing it all.
You already have his face.
I know, but I still have to redo it all. It's not happening.
That's terrible. So unflattering.
Holy Hannibal Lecter. That brain is way too big. Yeah. This is the earlier engine model that was in there. I can probably hit update, see if it pulls in the new one. A translucent helmet over the brain would be awesome. Not a bad idea. So you're like Joe Dirt, born at the top of your skull. So it only brought in the main part of the block because I had it all connected previously. Oh, look at that. Well, it's not in the right spot, but it's obviously going to be very tight where it's supposed to go. It might. I don't know. It might fit, Brett, because that's gonna be interesting. I mean, that's in the same position as this version here. So, like I said, it's gonna be very close. But like Mars Attacks Martians. Matt has those glasses. You have that helmet now. Perfect. Did any of you guys watch the intro to or the buggy video that we put up this week? If so, the cowboy hats. I was like, Matt, we have to get cowboy hats now. You put it in the intro. We must wear cowboy hats. I want a cowboy hat anyway. Release the STL. The problem is that I need to find a different brain file because that one was like a little too accurate and had too many like the parts weren't like they were like. I need to find one that's like just the cosmetic outer shell because that one was like a science model. So it would go great with your helmet. Low clearance links. Yeah, exactly. We need cowboy hat for the drive. Nicole would probably rather that was the case. She hates the helmet. Okay, that's what they wear. You don't have a cowboy hat? I have not had a cowboy hat since I was very, very young. Yeah, no, I've worn baseball hats pretty much solely since I was in double digits. That's your brain doesn't have that many wrinkles. Smooth. One of those hard hat cowboy hats. Yeah. I like the cowboy hat that's cut into a regular baseball hat. That's that one. I still got the, it's just best of both worlds. But yeah, we're gonna make good progress. This thing's gonna, and with the jeans theme, the cowboy hat just makes more sense. It's all coming together. We don't dress up fancy enough for him to have his own. Changing it now. Cowboy hatting it up. Going to Denver. I'm flying with it on the old. I don't know how you fly with a cowboy hat. They kind of, you gotta sit down. So you gotta like take it off, hold it. What do you do? Put it in the overhead? Like seems difficult. Driver needs assless chaps. All chaps are assless. That is how chaps work. They don't need the extra qualifier. Are you going to work on the build tonight? I need the 3D printed part because for the most part, this is pretty set up. So my plan is I'm probably going to have to pull that motor out because I don't think I can get it around there. Actually, if I go back to, so like turn off the oil pan, like, yeah, I'm not getting that motor, the engine model around that motor without taking it off. So I may have to do that. Nicole brought Chief in here for some reason. Chiefy, come here. Come here. See if he'll do. Is that a 540M size motor? Maybe this is an HK Hobbies motor, so it's not an actual Holmes motor, but I think it's probably closer to the 540M size. That might be the one that I choose. I think I made enough clearance for the 540M. That's bro.
So annoying.
Yeah. I had to buy an XC1 just for the detail prints. It is nice how well they do the details. Not all chaps have a cod. Anyway, let's first. I'll probably just pull out the motor plate. So let's yank that motor. Yeah, I think that we're gonna. So we'll have that out. Then I can maybe test fit with and without. It does make it interesting to think about how I'm gonna actually get it all in there the final time. So I may have to make some accommodations for the engine model to allow that slip fit, which basically would just mean opening up the oil pan area so that it could drop over. And I don't think it needs much in terms of changing. I think it's possible. So hopefully the 540M fits. That's what I'm planning to run. If not, I think I've got extra room in the model to probably make that happen for you. But this motor here, I think this is 35 millimeters. Yeah, 35 millimeters deep from mounting surface to the back of the cam. So depending on what you're running, you should have that or thereabouts. So if you're a couple millimeters more, I'm sure I've got that clearance. You designed the backward shaft yet? I've got the rough design done, but I haven't actually done like the bearing fits and all of that quite yet. So I still need to get into that. Hopefully that's something that I can get knocked out next week. Whether or not I'll be able to have it made next week is a different story. Kind of depend on some of the other stuff, but we'll see. So the M should fit. I think they're 31, 32. Yeah, you should be no problem. This is a big outrunner for sure. It's fine. I dropped. So I figured if you could fit this one, you probably wouldn't be running much other than it as far as size. Now I'm not sure if the other ones have larger diameters. That's probably the other question. This one is 34 millimeters in diameter, roughly. So graceful, always graceful, always. But I guess now with the engine out, motor out, I can test fit the engine. Should sit rotate. So it should sit right at that height, roughly, which is very close to that. Oh, wait, maybe it's over here more. Yeah. So it's gonna be right in there. We're gonna make that fit. But since the thing is rolling now, I can absolutely double check everything once I get it dropped in. Probably links and drive shafts should be the first thing, and then we'll worry about getting it installed later. Hey, thank you very much, Bartow Curtis, becoming a channel member, much appreciated. There was also one at the very beginning, which was Aardvark Explain. So much appreciated to both of you guys. Channel membership stuff has been fun. Also, any of the videos that get posted up, they go live for the channel members right away. So like Scale News usually goes up around 10 or 11 at night. So you get it then rather than 5 a.m. the next morning. But yeah. Man, that thing is sick AF. It's gonna be. It is gonna be. 540 AM is 28 by 16. Oh, dang, you'll be plenty of room. What? 35.54 diameter on the Holmes Revolver 540S. Okay, so it sounds like pretty much all of them are going to fit just fine. I think the one that I have is about the worst case scenario. So we should be good. We should be in good shape. I've got the servos in, so I just need to start working on linkages for that. I need to actually redesign that front plate to beef up mounts and things like that a little bit more, just so that, or I'm going to multi-piece it so that I can have it like done out of metal or carbon and mount the servos to that with a like 3D printed block. But and Axial 32 also became a member. Thank you as well. It is nice that it tells you right in the live chat. Do you think these motors will get hot enough to warp PLA? No, I don't. Especially with the size of the batteries that we're running, things like that. And I think that if the motors were that hot for that long, we would have bigger issues. I'm thinking. Could be wrong. If you really mess things up and the gearing's all kinds of whacked, things could happen. But I don't suspect that it will be an issue. Especially since I'm not going to be like, I don't suspect that I'm going to have it. If I do, I'll redesign the top part of the engine to have more clearance, and I'll put a freaking fan in this thing. Like, you know, I'll get air around it as needed. But I don't think that's going to be much of a concern. I guess the other option is the side of the motor where I've got the bulge that I was hoping to cover up. I think what I could do is open up that whole side of the motor, and that other portion, like a fuel cell, could be separate that goes on there, and it covers it up, but it leaves that whole side open to help get a little bit more, air, the ability to come in and around and allow it to drop onto the chassis easier. That could be the route I just go anyway. Fan pushing through the exhaust for cooling. I might not have enough pressure for that. The amount of head pressure it would probably take to fill through that and out would probably need a hell of a fan. Savannah Patch. Had to zoom in manually with my. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Much appreciated. Trying to measure bulge doesn't sound very cowboy. And, when you got that, it's just out there. And you're just like, I'm a modest person. But yes, I feel like it's all, maybe this is going to come together way faster than I think. We've got coming up on a month pretty quickly. And a month goes oh so fast. What was that name again? Savage Patch. Did I say Savannah? I did, didn't I? Savage. I was projecting. Savage. Thank you, Mike J. Whatever. Thank you. Savage Patch. Text is very, very small on my screens. That's my. Wait, what is that? Why does it get? I have never seen that. That is awesome. How did that work? That's what I get for mispronouncing your name. That's very generous. Oh, I laughed at you. Quiet. That's a cool feature. And again, thank you. First time catching one of these Friday Night Live shows. Well, thank you very much, Wyatt. It's I'm glad to have you. You know, they're not they're not the most productive show. It's actually just just actually live. That makes sense. I was gonna say, like, if you're here for tech or like even much entertainment or anything of value other than a dude in a not quite spare bedroom staring at an RC car pushing the suspension a little bit, it's about all you're going to get. At least you aren't building Legos. I did get a Lego kit, but I am not doing it live. I learned my lesson because that was absolutely painful. And I feel like I ruined the enjoyment of building a Lego kit, which is hard to do because Legos are a lot of fun. I don't do them all that often. I don't know. She's still watching, so we'll wait. Let's see. What kit? It was the this one right here. Or the one that I got. This one came from GC Coupe, and it's the McLaren F Formula Speed Champions. So yeah, I'm gonna build that on my own pace, though. Savage Patch. I used to watch all the time when I was in college. Now that I'm done, I don't get to as much. Hope all's well. Everything is going well. Happy to have you. When you were in, well, congrats on being out of college. I hope that everything you're done for the right reasons, but for the best whatever it happens to be. Yeah, thank you very much. We're still just playing with toys. Thank you for the membership. Keep going. Yeah, the membership stuff is a lot of fun. It's been a nice little. YouTube is under constant, like, there's always something changing, or so it's not that you can rely on YouTube for income, like real income, like while doing this. If I wanted to just see how fast I could make a Traxxas car, you could probably do much better. But I just like building tiny rock crawlers, and that's all I want to do, much to Nicole's dismay. I keep eyeing up the F1 Technics kit. Those sound fun. The F1 Speed Champions. The Speed Champion ones do look cool because they I'll see the guys who collect them and put them all on the wall with like a little minifigure. It's like, woo! That sounds fun. Yeah, Nicole's in 6th place for our F1 Fantasy League. 125 members in there. And Nicole's in 6th. I'm in 55th. Yeah. Like you need another collection. That is exactly right. I would never do that. I would never start collecting something different. I'm just saying. I did do some organizing of my Hot Wheels stuff at work recently. Yeah. So it was just a little reorganization. Nothing crazy. Hey, I know that sound. Yes. All right. So, ding, fries are done. Let's get this filament cleaned off. If everything looks good, we'll start the next part. Hold, please. Almost there. Okay. Cleaned up. And one little spot where we got an undercut. All right. So this is our engine block. That cross hatching is just like a little bit of detail I added. I also added that little filler, like oil filler type neck right there. You know, the block itself is not fancy. It's just got a little bit of detail in areas where you could see. Now, can I get it? Goes into position properly. It looks like it'll clear. Let's find a little bit of hardware. Do I have any hardware close? Otherwise, I gotta get new. Oh, geez. Zeph Gage, thank you very much. Been watching on and off since the Deadbolt. I built a replica when I was like 15. What happened to it? I sold the Deadbolt budget build after I moved to California so that I could buy my first gimbal. I sold it and I bought a Zhiyun Crane V2. But yeah, that was big because I sold that car for like $600. And that was probably the most I had sold a car for at that time, or something like, or close to it. And it had like MS Tech frame rails, it had roosts, it had like, it was a decent car, but that money was big for me. So, cause I wanted to try and make better videos. And it was, $600 was a ton. Turbo Row, thank you as well. You look like you were getting something out of your Easy Bake Oven. It's like an adult Easy Bake Oven. That's actually the best name for them. Black Sheep RC, thank you, French. What are you doing, nerd? Nerd stuff, like always. And Dale C, what's going on? Well, I got the cactus flower Lego thing in the mail like 10 minutes ago, so I take that. Mine will be prettier than your dumb kit. You would get a flower in the mail, Dale. Good seeing you, though. Thank you for checking in. Okay. Dale, good for your home. I'm so too impatient to wait to put wheels and tires on things until they're freaking done. Okay, one in there. Okay. Oh, good news. Woo. It clears just like, but the oil pan isn't on yet. Let's see if I can show you how the clearance is. So that back corner there, that upper link that it won't focus on. So that upper link there, like it is not quite touching. See it right there? You can just see daylight through it. Like, oh, so close. Did you get your Suga yet? Nope, I have not. I don't have that. My Suga is not on the way yet. He needed to redo some stuff, and honestly, I'm not going to touch it until after this event. Anything? Did you account for wires on the motor itself? Yes, I did, and I can show you that on this side here. I don't know if I have it accounted for in the direction that I currently have the motor bolted up, but on the motor itself, or on the engine itself, you can see this cutout here. This area is relief cut so that the wires for the motor can come out the side of the engine. So hopefully that works out. I could take it, well, actually, I could take it the other way too. So both sides, I guess I put that relief cut on both sides, and I didn't remember that. I thought I only did it on one side, but no, it's on both. So at least we've got that taken care of. This is the head that I previously had done. I think this is the same. The valve cover is unchanged. The head is different, but the head has had the exhaust manifolds and all that kind of stuff added to it. But could probably glue that into place. It wouldn't hurt my feelings any. Where's Nicole's finger glue? There it is. So let's put a little glue on there. I think I put a little too much. It's fine. And we'll spray a little activator on this side. That way it dries instantly. Whew. Oh, got a little on my finger. I knew I put too much on there. It's fine. It's fine. But seriously, I think that my welded in part is a little bit further back, maybe about 1 millimeter, because I can tell my everything's not lining up exactly dead perfect. And can I make that work still? And just allow the top of the head to float? I could, because the intake manifold, the exhaust manifold, the turbo, all that, they only are attached to the head. So that could kind of, yeah, I think it'll be fine. If I just plan on it being able to float like that, I could even put slotted holes in the print. Done. It is done. I will make that so. Let's just go ahead and throw a little RTV around the outside of this valve cover as well while we're at it. Oh crap, I'm putting it on the wrong sides. Whatever. I like using the black because then it's very realistic. It's totally why I'm doing it. It's fine. Don't worry so much. It does look like gasket sealer though. It's on there. It ain't moving. Don't pick your nose after touching that glue. Oh yeah, if you were on live Wednesday and you saw Nicole have to bust the door down because she stabbed herself and I had to put glue on it. What you missed later was when she got that glue on the cat and then had to cut it off of him. This like thing that. There you go. So we've got our 3D printed engine in the back. Let's put the head in your lap. In there. So engine in the back of the buggy. I think that is going to look excellent. I'm here for it. Now I just need to make sure that I can get the electric motor in place. It's Matt's problem now. He won't see this one. He'll get models for it that he has to print the on his own. And so but yeah, I think you need to, I think that's how I'm gonna plan on some things. But I like the size and the shape, the location of that. Once, because this side is going to be heavily occupied by some turbo stuff. Which, why don't we just go ahead and do some exporting of, that's not going to work because I just glued stuff on. I mean, I could still maybe do the, let's see what it looks like when I do the first export of the header and the turbo, maybe. Because at least that might give us something to save that. Sail away. Why did that make me think of that song? So only the turbo side to start. Oh, shoot. Actually, I can just join them real quick. Join. I had my turbo in multiple pieces, so I'm fixing that. And we're going to export the exhaust lastly, because that's going to be the other part that we see. I know you can't see my actual screen right now. But now we're going to go to the bamboo. We're going to load in load those parts in. These parts will be interesting to print because let's we go. That'll be there. This one will just print on its edge as well. Lots of support. It'll be fine. Turn our support on. I'm not going to do tree support for this just because I feel like all those tubes is going to be difficult. Sail away. What did I actually start saying? Was he saying I did? I'd sail away, sail away. I had it stuck in my head for a second. Oh, it's going to take an hour. Do we have an hour? Maybe. Let's, well, do we do that out of, yeah, we'll do it out of the black. It's fine. There we go. And that is off and running. I'm trying to see. So yes, hopefully we got all of that situated. Lay the exhaust fan. Yes, that's how I managed. That's how I decided to set that as well. But it's good to test fit this stuff as much as the jigs help with some aspects of the build. There's little things that still have eyeball calibration in, and this is one of them, and I'm designing it pretty tight to it. How is the driver going to be mounted? So I'll add a bit of a flange over, and he'll likely mount to the top of the transmission. There's a couple of screws right next to him that are easy access locations. So then I could still remove him. There's also the ability that I've got these on the rocker here, right on top of that rock. You see there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 holes that you can, there you go. You can kind of see through them there. Those 4 holes are tapped for 3 millimeter. So I can make a flange that goes down there that I screw down into. All are options, but there shouldn't be any shortage of ways to do it. Zipper lips. Please describe your printer setup to print carbon fiber nozzle type. What's needed to move up from PLA. So this is just bamboo X1 carbon that's 100% bone stock. I have changed nothing in my print settings other than selecting the carbon fiber filament settings that bamboo, there's nothing. I've done nothing other than pull this thing out of the box, put the filament in it, and click the buttons, and then that's it. If I could tell you more, I would, but I've literally changed 0 default from anything. As far as it's got a hardened nozzle in it, but it's the stock bamboo one. Yeah, that's it. As much as I used to love playing with my 3D printers, I love it more that I don't have to touch anything about it anymore. I just hit print and I walk away, and it's done fast and it looks great. Let's see. The only thing I changed in the settings is support interface Z to 0.1. I'd have to look at what mine is, but mine has not changed at all. And my supports came off fantastic, even the little intricate cross hatching and stuff. But adjusting a little bit, I could totally see, maybe even better. But that's that's part of it. I like not having. Oh, speaking Adam. Speaking of that, I can't wait until Wednesday to do this. I got a package in the mail yesterday, and I thought that it was just Andy C sending me some liquid death. What I didn't see is that it said open live ? And I didn't see that at all until I opened the box on this side. and realized that it was not water because it's like about the right density. It doesn't have can, but I was like, uh-oh. And I was just like, what is going on here? So I didn't see this at all until I had pulled this box out of the other box. And it says 1-up. And it's got a mushroom on the back. So very Mario themed, right? Then there was also the addition of airtight. And I was just like, okay. So then, I decide to open this very carefully first. But because I couldn't, someone had sent me a message that I realized after, but it was after the fact. So, and then inside, this is a custom designed and 3D printed box that holds an ice pack, an Uncrustable, and a Capri Sun. Now, he did not ship an Uncrustable in there. He shipped the wrappers from an Uncrustable just to be like, this is the, see, here's, they go in there. They fit perfectly. But he didn't ship me the perishable Uncrustable that is supposed to stay refrigerated. But he did ship me a full Capri Sun. Paper towel and Sour Patch Kids. Because, I mean, for one, that's basically my perfect lunch because I am a 5-year-old. But it's so awesome. And I'm so mad that I freaking I opened it without seeing that box. And it was just because he had messaged me and said, I'm gonna send you something. You can open it live. I was like, okay. So I'm gonna show it on Wednesday again. But for those of you that either won't be there or there's no way I could wait until then because like this is so freaking awesome. And it's like it's designed well. It's got a little handle in the middle that this whole thing comes out of. Like this is a groove here for the little part of the airtight selector in the front. That it was done properly well. Like a nice fit. It's so awesome. the ice pack. I mean, that's freaking awesome. I never pulled the ice pack out. So, I mean, how freaking awesome. That is so cool. I know. So, I'm looking forward to showing that on Wednesday again. But like, so, what each under tray is. I'm gonna need one of them. Oh my god, it's so. Now I have to figure out what his Instagram name to YouTube name correlation. No. Under the tray. Oh, I didn't see that. What? That's right. What? El Chavo, is it you? Are you the one who said to me? Or did I just not see? I didn't see it.
Andy.
It was Andy?
So thoughtful.
It was Andy. That's what, like, because I was so confused because the way that it was worded on the package, like Andy had sent me a number of things in the pack, and it always says care of, like C/O. And not everybody does that. A lot of people just address it to me or address it to whoever. But Andy always specifically says care of. So like I always I'm like, oh, it's me. And then I saw that, and I was going to like go put it in the refrigerator at work. It's so freaking awesome. So much for what? Andy, you've created something there. So that, and it makes so much sense, like it all comes together that it was Andy. So cool. So yeah. So it's got to go back in the box until Wednesday. Because while even a lot of you will probably be the same ones that are there, the story of me screwing up the surprise is on, is on brand for how how I operate. But oh my god, I was dying laughing. And Brandon was actually the one, because I was at work. I was like, oh, and Brandon was actually the one to be like, oh, there's a note on the bottom. I was like, oh god. He goes, we would have just had that in the refrigerator. And I was like, no, that would have been, I mean, I guess it would have been nice and cool in there. The reveal, total surprise, not surprise. The reveal totally deserves a round 2. I agree. I fully agree. That was absolutely one of the most funny things that I've ever got in the mail. But Mr. Freeze would approve. Oh God. I'm glad that I brought that in here tonight, so that because Andy was here. What servos are you running? So I've got the Reefs Raw 100 servos up front for shifting. Those are they run a full-size servo horn, and that's probably why I did that. If you're in the build group, you can message me for the STLs. Yes, there you go, Andy. Sick. So I'm running those, and then I'll run Reef's low profile servos for my steering. And I just haven't got those yet, but I'll pick those up here shortly. I'm getting to the point where I need to finish my orders and all the things like that I need to get. I mean, I got to buy denim and resin, whatever else. So yeah, few things to fix and finish and stuff like that. I got things and places to do. My transmission is still definitely at an angle. I got to get that finished too. But so let's see. What is the actual time that I have on this? Yeah, we have an hour left. I don't know if we're going to get through that whole thing. Please have Nicole help you buy denim. Remember direct power servos. Yes, that is absolutely the case. That I'm going to run that Silent Assassin ESC is the one. Another funny story about that. Jimmy so remember direct power. I'm going to run I'm still going to need a BEC for my shift servos, but when the guys sent me the Silent Assassin ESC, they sent me a shirt too, and it's got Silent Assassin across the chest. And I've gone to grab it a number of times, but then like think about where I'm going. Like I'm gonna go to Starbucks in the morning. Like what do people think that means? Because there's no photos of anything else. There's nothing. All you just see Silent Assassin, gray shirt, with black with a green outline, the text. Like, I'm like, I can't wear this shirt. I can't wear it. Like, where am I going to wear it? That people aren't just like, what does that mean? What are you doing? So yeah, that's it's hanging in the closet still, and I cannot figure out a time when wearing that shirt would possibly be appropriate. Who cares? Do you? Yeah, it's someone's gonna ask, and then I'm gonna be in a conversation, and I don't want to do that. Like, I'm trying to limit that. Just like, you know. I don't know. Sure, but I mean, I'll wear a shirt that says like, "Where's the bodies, Garth?" So I don't know. Like, I have weird thoughts. Then that's the we also live in California. That is also true. But I'll wear a weird your mom's house shirt, and people, But you're not going to go up to someone who's wearing a shirt that says, "Where's the bodies, Garth?" Like, unless you know it, and then you know the reference, and then you'll just give. But so meant to wear while out crawling, camping, etc. That makes more sense. However, I almost never just do that. I was like, go to lunch, go to do this. Florida here, no one would bat an eye. I should all be in Texas. But that there's truth to all of these statements. In California, that shirt definitely ranked as offensive. Right to jail right away. I'm not even reading that. Yeah. So, yeah, we have others that drive for Son of an Assassin and wear them out. Yeah. Just, I don't want to be in a conversation all of a sudden with someone, or someone who thinks that they know what it means and it's way different. Like, I don't want to be that either. So, so many. That goes through that's why I'm late for work, because I'm in my closet going, is this shirt going to make me get into a conversation? I had someone who had to PayPal me the other day who doesn't know me. They just like wasn't related to anything that I normally do. And they like typed in, I gave them my email address. They typed that in. They hit send. They go, "Oh, Harley Designs?" Like, "Oh, is that what you do?" And I was just like, I knew what they thought that meant. And I just went, "Yes." I don't want to talk about it. Like, yes. End the conversation. That rant sounded like the shirt someone else said. You're goddamn right, Dale. Dale sent me the first ever shirt that I couldn't wear out. And I was just like, nope, not doing it. I will not do it. Because Dale sent me a shirt that said thick boy. Nope. Because it was a joke about my old videos when I think it was the camera angle, but I definitely just looked bigger, because I don't think I was any bigger then than I am now. But it definitely looked like it. What is the Harley name from? The name actually does come from the fact that I used to ride a Harley, and then I was designing parts for RC crawlers, and I just needed a name for an internet forum. So I was Harley 0706 was my first, what were those called? Usernames on RC Crawler. And then I was an engineer and I was designing parts. And when I posted a part, I was like, it's a Harley design. It's one of those. So I was even like when I was first designing, I would design templates and just post them for people for free, so they could make their own stuff with these templates. And it just became Harley Design. And then I finally needed, like, social media became a thing. That was like the Facebook pages and things like that. And I named it Harley. Thank you. Yes, And I named that Harley Design, and that was just how it went. So yeah. I don't wear printed shirts at all. I'm old and boring. See, Dart, all of my shirts are printed because almost all of them are free t-shirts that came from something else. Because I am old and cheap. So yeah. And now he's a Honda guy. Actually, I was a Suzuki guy after my Harley because I sold my Harley and I got a Hayabusa. There you go. And then I had heard after I sold my Harley, the guy that sold it to, it fell off a trailer going down the interstate. If I was going to buy a Harley today, it'd be a Street Glide though. I do like them still. I just like, for someone who doesn't want to be in a conversation, I do love loud and obnoxious, whether it's stereos or exhausts. I just like. You know. My undershirts have holes in them, but I have some fucking rad RC cars. Nicole had to throw away all my boxers. She's like, "You've had some of these since before we were dating." So, you see my RC cars? Yeah, she were on, boy. What do we call Nicole's car? The Soul Sucker. And she named it that, not me. She's like, I hate driving that. It's a soul sucker. It's just like, it's the worst. It's just the. You said road glide wrong. I did not. I said street glide. Yeah. There's a Harley shop here not far from Sacramento. Nope. I won't ride in California. California people, there's too many people in California who do not value their own or anybody else's life when they drive. So, as the old saying goes, with age, you get a cage. I am a cager. Yeah. Too many cagers, yes. Yep. But you know, I miss riding every day. I do. I loved riding so much. But that Hayabusa was going to get me in so much trouble at the same time. So, you know, like, live and learn, make better choices, make good choices. Tell you what, though, I have plenty of room between my servo and the engine block. So I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough room for my front drive accessories. Not that it's got a lot of drive accessories, just like the main crank pulley and alternator and some stuff like that. So, which I don't know if I'm going to put an alternator on it or not. Yeah, you know, these little comp trucks, they'll charge the battery between runs. It's fine. It's fine. Let me guess, a black street glide? Nah. I would love it. I would do an obnoxious. Well, I mean, I would love just orange. Just freaking, like, maybe orange pearl metallic or something, like bass boat orange, even, like, in a heartbeat, with way too loud of a stereo. So I was that dickhead driving between traffic out here, just stereo go. Be such. I don't like me. Like, if I see, I'm like, but at the same time, every once in a while you do have that Harley drive way too much stereo. I'm like, that's still kind of cool. I like that. Even though it was kind of annoying when we went by, I'm like, I still like it. Loud car, stupid loud exhaust. I still like it. let's. Toyota has the hot lava orange. That's kind of cool. Toyota does? On what? Look at the amber whiskey street glides. Okay, I'm gonna actually do that. Amber whiskey street glide. Let's see. That's a great color. Let's do. So let's see. Like this is absolutely a good color. I have no problem with this at all. I don't know why it's not sure this. There we go. I would have no problem being a little bit more obnoxious than this though. Like it could be a little brighter. This is pretty subtle, but I'd still be okay with that. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Where are you putting the winch? That is a great question, James. But I have a better answer because in the competition that we're building these for, no winching. There is no winching, which I am so happy about because that's one thing with Sorka that like you do it because you have to. But I don't like winching. Like it's so you end up doing the most ridiculous things that you could never do or would never do in a real car. Not that you won't do unrealistic things with these two, but it keeps it a little more when you're not like Spider-Manning off a side of a ledge or something like that. So no winch required, which I'm super happy about. I really am. Let alone the fact that I'm already going to have 4 servos in here. Suck down winch allowed. It is allowed. If you want to run one, you absolutely could. Now I'm running the pricey custom shocks, so they're already like in a sucked down position other than that last 5 millimeters of stroke. So I could get a little bit more, but at the same time, I don't think that the extra weight up in the chassis would benefit me. But yeah. Josh, you should print that buggy on a t-shirt. Put a print of the buggy? Is that what you mean? Bob Dole. Is he who invented the internet? Who's that guy? Nicole would know. Isn't it Bob Dole? No. Who am I thinking of? Not having to buy another winch, saving me some money. So I actually have winches around because I don't necessarily keep them in cars. Like my last Sorka car, I took it out of. Al Gore. Bob Dole's from Kansas somewhere. And why isn't he still? Isn't Bob Dole? Wait, is he involved with the bananas, or is that separate? Dole. Wait, are you saying it like an announcer? Bob Dole. He also invented the algorithm. Bob Dole invented bananas. Yeah. Al Gore invented Bob Dole. Bob Dole used to be the Speaker of the House. Yes, he's from Kansas, and I think that they have like Bob Dole Appreciation Days or something like that in Kansas. Something. Someone Google it. Wait, Bob Dole's still alive? Bob, yeah, he's here, and he's hiding out on an island with Tupac. And yeah, nope, not alive. There you go. Bob Dole always carries a pen. Hey, I like him. I wonder if it was a good pen or not. No, we didn't. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure Sarah used to tell me that there was some sort of Bob Dole appreciation. Maybe he was from Russell, Kansas. I bet that's why, because she was from Russell. Someone Google it. Where was Bob Dole from? Was he from Russell? Because that's a very small town in the middle of Kansas. I need to know this. To the interwebs. There's probably a museum off of 70. Yeah, Bob Dole Museum to the right. World's largest ball of twine to the left. Someone I need. Let's see. Could be on that. I'm telling someone I gotta find it. And all the speakers. Russell King. Yes. Not Wizard of Oz Museum, Bob Dole Museum. All towns in Kansas are small. Yep. See, Russell King knew it. Knew that there was a connection with the person that I knew. And in Russell, Kansas, there's Bob Dole Appreciation Day. I live 45 minutes from the world's largest ball of twine. What? This is amazing. The amount of absolutely useless and fringe correct man, bear, pig. Just random. Can anybody find what the Bob Dole Day is in Russell? Because I want to see if I can make it this year. Let's see if I have a conflict. Can you make a VRD carbon into a trail truck? You could. It really, like my VS410 Pro has as much or it's probably got about the same amount of overdrive as a VRD carbon. So as far as that goes, like the overdrive would be the only reason that you would maybe not be a normal trail ride with it or trail truck with it. If you wanted it to make it a little bit more reasonable of a trail truck, I would just swap the overdrive gears that come in the front portal boxes with the standard portal gears. Or sorry, actually, I would put the overdrive gears in the rear as well because they're stronger. So put the, is that right? Standard gears. You want the standard gears in both. Damn it. I'm confused at the moment. But either way, yes, you could with either none or little modification, and then you would just be good to go. So make it the Fossil Appreciation Day in RC Crawl. Just put a deposit on an Thai Pro MJ43 today. I need to finish mine, but it's a cool car. I like that car a lot. And it's, its own way. Josh is having a squirrel moment. Did I? Something I didn't notice until just now. I was like, oh, look at the wheel. I didn't realize that I basically built the same set of wheels twice. Guess I like what I like. For a frame of reference of size and style, the MJ43 is cool because it has it's a little bit more, scale trail truck or trail chassis size. So it's got a decent amount of height, good interior area. Wheelbase is very similar to what I'm building here. I might be a 1/4 inch longer, but it's got nice panels, comes with full interior setup. Pretty easy to set up in a number of ways. So yeah, nice that it comes complete with links and all that stuff as well. Trying to make it fairly easy. I used a VS410 Phoenix as a donor on this one, the Phoenix kit. And it went in there nice and easy. So yeah, that's this is not a big chassis, but it's pretty.
Chris Kelly has to come back on the stream. Are you
What?
reading this chat?
What did he say? What's Chris Kelly say?
Something about some bullshit New York Times article.
20% wasted.
Like,
Wait.
a New York Times article about the largest ball of twines found in Kansas.
Unloaned.
And I said I would Google it tomorrow.
Largest collection. This.
I'm not a Googling mood tonight.
I was in a New York Times article covering.
This is getting real. He's gonna have to come back.
You're saying that the largest ball of twine is in New York, not Kansas?
Chris.
Are you sure that it's, Kansas might have the largest ball of yarn? I think it could be yarn.
Twine. My whole life, all I've ever heard is twine.
Oh, I already admitted you haven't. Yeah, you see, you hit Nicole once with that one, and then she just. But this is a fun build. I liked it. Well, I will, and I'll like it more once I actually finish it. Never tell a redhead to chill. Yeah, that is not untrue. It never works out for me either. But you can see the height of the chassis there. It's pretty significant, but it's pretty scale accurate as well. So that's welds look fairly decent. Panels are cool. I think that it's coming with a different hood now, because this is a resin hood, and I think that will definitely break easily, especially right here. Like that is definitely thin enough that it'll break. Resin printing just not very strong. But get that Harley Davidson shopping off my. I'm gonna get some new ads now. Can't stop me. I'm genuinely amazed someone else wanted to do it. Yeah, like why? And you know what's worse though is if you're the other guy and you've got to take that sign down. You're like, man, really? Like, how much bigger do I have to make it? At that point, you're like, I've had this forever. There's signs out on the highway that are pointing to that say world's largest ball of twine. Like, like, do I just add some more, or do I concede and take the signs down? The sign is still up. Darwin, Minnesota is the home of a ball of Baylor twine rolled by Francis A. Johnson. Is 12 feet, 3.7 meters in diameter, and weighs 17,400. All we had before social media was the Guinness Book of World Records. And it was still just the same one from 1997 that said it. And that was time was frozen in Kansas based on that book. Nope. The tallest man, 7'4". I've got a huge ball of duct tape. When I worked in engineering, we had a rubber band ball that we'd add stuff to constantly, and we just throw it over our cube wall at each other. The problem is it would ended up rolling into one of the principals of the company's office. I walked in, hi Frank, my rubber band ball, and the Encyclopedia Britannica. Only the digital version though, because I remember we had one friend whose family owned an actual encyclopedia set. It was a big deal. Adam Watson. Go over to the Watsons to go look at the encyclopedia for our book report that was due the next day, that we told our parents we had to do on Saturday. Like, well, you're going to have to go to the Watsons on tomorrow. And we didn't have close neighbors where I grew up. We had to drive there. They had an earth contact home. Another fun fact. and grass on their roof. So, yeah. I remember the Encarta Encyclopedia was on like 7 CDs. I remember when we finally got it on a computer as well. And it was like, I remember there was an animation of a car crash on there that I had to watch like 1,000 times. And it showed like old cars, how the engine would just like, the steering column and the engine would just puncture the chest of the stick man in the seat. But new cars had crumple zones where the engine would drop down and back. I watched that stick man get impaled by the steering column way too many times. You're telling a kid that could read? What's my mail say? Wow, psycho. Just, I remember there was also there was like a San Diego Zoo CD as well. I only watched that a couple of times, but that stick man getting impaled. You guys remember Stick Death? Is that still around? Stick Death. That site was, I don't know if that site was as popular as I remember it, but I definitely saw it a lot. Is that what led you to designing Racer New Road? Redesigning rate? Stick Death was the shit. Yes. Stick Death was so awesome. It's still a thing. What? Oh, that's awesome. I wonder if it's as good as it used to be. Probably not. They never are. Oh, Stick Death. I watched that so many times. I really am we really did come from a different time and generation. Celebrity Deathmatch was awesome. So there was like I can't remember what game it was. It was some sort of like it was called Taboo. You guys remember Taboo, the game where he was like describing something to somebody without using the like 5 words that were on the card? There was a celebrity taboo, and you had to try and but my brother and I, around all of the adults, we were on playing celebrity taboo, and we were just being like, they fought Arnold Schwarzenegger on Celebrity Deathmatch, like, oh, Sylvester Stallone, like, yeah, next one. And we absolutely destroyed people playing Taboo because of Celebrity Deathmatch. We still play Taboo. It's still I remember that buzzer that I used to have. We were moving from one house to a new house, and it got put into, like, it was in one of the boxes, and we were driving. It wasn't that far of a drive, but like 30, 45 minutes, whatever. But the weight of whatever was on top of it was just pushing that button. I remember I was maybe 10 years old, but we just had to take that whole drive with that faint in the background. Core memory. Yeah, stupid, ridiculous stories. Completely pointless RC cars. I would have pulled over. It was like, it was at the bottom of a pile, and who knows what box. In the back of our, what year would that have been? 90, maybe 94 Jeep Cherokee, red with the champagne lower trim. Yeah. Frog in the Blender. I remember that one. Frog in the Blender, Hamster Dance. That Taboo horn might make a good RC horn. Probably right. It was bulky, but I think that was probably mostly batteries. Did you ever get on those Flash game websites? I used to play Drag Racer V2. I definitely got on some of them, but like I don't think that there was very many at that time, at least that I was doing. I think I'm older than you, Dale. Uh, I love that his site is still up. Wait, whose site? Whose site is still up? Mini clip? Tell us the thrilling tale of your God damn hard. Why do I click on those before I proofread? God, thought that said shirt because I was like, last shirt. Nope, you son of a. Joe cartoon site was Frog in the Blender. Okay, I do remember that site. Yeah. What about Badger, Mushroom? Yep, I remember that. You know why I actually remember that a lot was because of all of the internet like early emojis. But like before we called them emojis, I don't even remember what we called them before that. But like you could insert them on RC Crawler back then. There was the Badger and like, look at my horse. Oh my God, this is the most off the rails this stream has been in a little emoticons, is what we called them. That sounds vaguely familiar. And then we just shortened it to emojis. Yeah, I don't know why we got there, and I don't like it. I don't like it still. Emoji's still a weird word. Do not approve. Yeah. So, I'm gonna have to go back to the Joe cartoon after this. Aardvark, I'm not reading. I will not engage. Will not engage. Back to RC. Favorite Outrunner ESC combo. So in my VRD Carbon, I am running the Crawlmaster V3 and a Holmes Hobby Snub Nose 1850 motor. And in that truck, it's fantastic. Of course, it's pretty light. So, the 1850 is fantastic. I like that a lot. It's just not allowed to say. They do trigger her quite a bit. But she does accept gifts, like Giphy. She's all for that. So, who is the hypocrite now? I can send it. Just saying. Can you explain to me the purpose of putting a starter as close as possible to the exhaust in a 2007 Grand Cherokee? You went to school for engineering, so I figured. So, efficiency of electrical windings is increased by the air gap and the torque density of your electric motors. So, say that it was you're worried about colder climates, and yeah, I don't know. Does that 2007 Grand Cherokee, that doesn't have leaf springs still, does it? Because if so, there was no engineers involved in the designing of that car. So that would be your. But if it does, if it's leaf spring free, that's a tough one. No, it doesn't. Okay, no leaf spring. I didn't think so. 2007 Grand Cherokees, the Grand version did not have leaf springs. Yeah. Well, they were busy designing a better suspension, and they're like, "Shit, we forgot to move the starter." That's fine. Let's leave it. Let's see. Noob Crawl Trail Guy here, trying to decide between an SCX 10.3 and a Red Cat Gen 9. Thoughts? Absolutely, there is only one choice between those two, and that would be the Axial. You will set yourself up for a much better future if you go that way. You can have fun with a Gen 9. You absolutely can. And there's things about it that may look like the appealing choice, but if you want a better long-term ownership experience, get the Axial. You will end up being in the hobby longer. Nope, I don't anymore. I had a Red Cat Gen 9, and it was fine, but there's like 90% of the things that are like close, but not like they're not right. The axle design is a major part of it. So yeah, like just get the 10.3. If those are the two you're looking at, I'm not even trying to tell you a different version. You're looking at a couple of good options. SCX 10.3. You can get get a base camp. If you're kind of looking in that same price range area, the base camp is going to be a better car. Just will be. So it's not going to have as many scale details at the time, but you're going to pay for some better quality stuff elsewhere instead, and that's what's going to keep you going for longer. So anyway, I only recommend getting the casual trail truck. So yeah, like I would tell you to get a Fordyce, Vanquish Fordyce, but it's going to be a little bit more money anyway. And I would say that it's still a better car, but you're going to pay more money. And at that price point you're looking at, if those are the two you're choosing from, there's one choice. The base camp was a great car. I liked that car. I built a fun little custom build around that and had a good time. I didn't drive the one that I built. Of course, I sold it before that. But I drove the other ones, and I did a mayhem with the other one as well. So, yeah. And again, you can have fun with anything, and the goal is to just be having fun. So, but long term, hopefully your money goes further and lasts longer, and you can find better parts and keep things running. And maybe you get super involved in wanting to make sure it performs as best as possible. Then you're going to be way better off by getting the better car. Just saying. I'd say I'll get off my soapbox now, but that's all this show is. So let's see. Where are we at on? We have 17 minutes left for our 3D. Oh, son of a. Well, the print failed half of it. So I either let it ride for the last 16 minutes, printing spaghetti for half the time, and I take one good part out of it. God damn it. Well, actually, 2/3 of it, because there's 3 parts in there, wasn't there? There's the turbo, the exhaust, and well, that's a failure on my part. No, we're calling it. Can't you cancel a part like one of the 3 parts? No, I have to cancel the whole print. Canceling one part would be a good idea. Why'd the print fail? It's hard to say. I wasn't paying any attention. It doesn't look like it was the first layer problem. They're very weird. They're very weird parts. I wonder which part is. I think it's the turbo that's still going. It is the turbo. I'm surprised the exhaust failed, though. That does surprise me. Show us spaghetti. So there It's dark filament. There is your spaghetti. Unfortunately, that is unfortunately unfortunate. It's unfortunately my print failed. It's unfortunate that the print failed. Get it? When are you getting the orange Giga? That's a print that most people will never fully use. I don't know what that is. Do I have to Google it? Funny bone. Can't see shit. Hold on, I'm still going with my eye holes. Can't see shit out of this thing. I should pull that movie up. Tried finding Catch Me If You Can last night. And it was unavailable on any of my streaming services. 80 centimeter by 80 centimeters by 1 meter. I don't. That's one of those ones that takes like the 3 millimeter filament or probably bigger, I'm guessing. Let's see. I had the SCX3 early Bronco. That's okay. Just sits a bit high. Horizon still has some for $299. They still have some for $299. No. Interesting. It uses standard 175 filament. Eek. That would take forever to do the large scale printing. Oof. I've got the SCX3 Jeep CJ7 still. And once you do a VFD swap in it, I like it quite a bit. Local hobby shop still has the SCX 10.3 Broncos in stock. That is why I was really surprised that the 10.3 Broncos sold as poorly as they did until they blew them out for $299. Oh, I'm still letting that print go. I guess I'm just going to let it print spaghetti for 12 more minutes. What a bummer. Now is only no, yeah. The exhaust is very small towards actually it's going to be working on the that includes time when it was doing the tall part of the exhaust. So maybe it's actually almost done. It is. Oh, almost. It's super close to only working on the part of that's not the. We'll go back to this. My mess up. So it's still printing turbo there. Then it switches over to the exhaust, the pipe, back to the turbo. So hopefully it'll transition off of that here soon, and then I can cancel this print. So I don't have to do all the rest of that printing for nothing. so close to being done. So the downpipe failed, yeah, and the header. So that is our I guess it's our downpipe. It's where the downpipe. That's all we're running. The downpipe. Yep, that sounds like a top layer. Yep, it's doing the infill on the top. She's such a. We watched the dumbest movie. I can't. I don't remember what it was called. The dumbest movie, and it had that. it had that saying in it. She's been saying it for 3 days. Where? What? Type it out. What? What is that movie, Nicole? Oh wait, is it done? Yes. It's just canceling. No. Stop print. Confirm. There we go. Oh my god. What in the actual? Yeah, we had some heat. We're gonna need some rafting, I think. It's like my bathroom floor. Hold, please. Okay, so and another buggy being set. I love my boar. This bamboo is generally so dead reliable. I've had very few failed prints. For as much as I use it, I am so pleased with it. The binge, that's what it was called. It's like a dumber version of the Purge, but it was very funny. It was worth watching. So if you need a stupid movie to watch the binge. I have an ender, so I only have failed prints. Okay. Yes, we're going with a large turbo in this application. Could be a little lag. Could be a little laggy. It's fine. May need some nitrous to get that spooled up. Glue sticks or brim are the best way to. Oh yeah, the enders and stuff like that for sure. I used to use glue sticks on the smooth sheet, but with this textured one, I really haven't had any failures because of it. But the header is such a weird shape on this that it doesn't really surprise me that we had some adhesion issues with all of the random support type setup that it had. I'll print the header on its own next and we should be good. Get that cleaned out. So my exhaust setup, or my turbo setup. This will sit it's got a cutout on that. You can see there. And that's because of the bulge on the other side of the engine block that I have this kind of tucking into. So, it's gonna. I love this. I love this placement. Impossible to see. I'm a terrible YouTuber. You'll get the point of it here soon. I'm gonna get the rest of this stuff printed, worked on assembling it and fix my issues here. I have a number of design changes to make, of course, as well, but that's gonna. Jeremiah, thank you very much. I love my A1 Mini. I had a few failed prints, but it's only because I set the wrong temp of the hot end of the bit. Yeah, they really just do well. Let's see. Play the time lapse to see what failed. Okay, all right. Let's see. Mini SD. Download that guy. Oh. Let me put this up here and we'll change to yeah, it failed. I had just straight adhesion issues. Where are we going to see the light? No, you don't even see the light. But yeah, no, we had yeah. Womp womp womp. That's going to do it for tonight. Appreciate everybody who donated, all the new members as well. Thank you a bunch. We got a lot of work left to do, and I'm excited for how this thing's coming out. So at least you use VLC player. VLC all the way. VLC is love it. All right. Thanks everybody. We'll see you guys. Well, member video stuff. Maybe it depends on how far I get tonight. Maybe member video tonight or tomorrow for sure. Then I've got a event at a brewery on Sunday, which I'll most definitely do some member stuff from. So as always, thank you guys for watching. It was a good night. See you next time.